So what you're asking here is, can Tantra be harmful for you? And the answer is that Tantra can be harmful if it's applied in the wrong way. This is why usually Tantra was learned in a traditional way from a competent guru. It can be more harmful than most other paths. And the reason it can be more harmful from most other paths is because it deals with energy and sexuality and secret knowledge about the energy channels and the chakras and stuff like this, which can be very useful for creating all kind of effects in life. If you simply do some pure meditation in the forest or some, I don't know, vipassana meditation and retreats, you're gonna get a lot of clarity, but you don't gonna get so much power to change things. You're gonna have a very, like when you go to a vipassana retreat, they usually say, we are not going to teach you anything, how to achieve anything, but how to let go. So this practice is pretty safe because you simply learn how to be detached from everything, and you simply don't mess with the world too much. Tantra is not that way. Tantra uses the world and energy and manipulate the world and energy. So if you take Tantra the wrong way, you can really create damage because you have power, and the Tantra gives you power. You can have a lot of abilities to affect the environment and the world around you, basically. And in the traditional Indian culture, there is a very, very distinctive different path in Tantra. For example, so there are three main paths that are usually described in Tantra. For example, there is the white path. White Tantra is Tantra that mostly deals with how to become enlightened, how to get free from the shackles of existence of the world, how to reach perfection of wisdom and love and compassion. This Tantra is very safe, basically, and it was usually practiced in monasteries or in special groups like the Kaula. There were groups of the elite of India, and they were meeting in secret places, and they were doing all kind of practices that were very high and elevated and generate amazing, powerful energy, which was very, very positive for the entire planet, maybe. And then there is Red Tantra. Red Tantra is a Tantra that was mostly got to the West in many ways. This is a Tantra about how to have a lot of pleasure. It got to the Arab world under the name of Imsak or all kind of different names. It was used by the amirs, by the rich people, the kings of the Arab world, who had many wives, and they simply wanted to satisfy them all and have a lot of pleasure. So they were using these Red Tantra elements to have a lot of pleasure, to be with many women and to satisfy them all, and to have to retain their energy and to use it for all kind of material ways, magic sometimes. This is like the Red Tantra path. But there was also a very clear description of the Black Tantra path, which was a path of black magic, of using the powers of sexuality and secret mantras and influencing all kind of astral entities and using them for creating harmful magic many times or destructive magic and doing spells. And you could find tantrics that you will come to them and pay them, and they will put a curse on somebody, like on your business competitor, or if you have a old grandmother who wanted dead early, you could give some money to a black tantric and he will kind of put something that will kill her, a spell or energy, you send her energy that will kill her or something. So they were used for very dirty purposes as well. And also the methods that were used to develop powers were sometimes very dirty. Like some people were living in graveyards for many, many days, and they were eating all kind of corpse, or they were doing all kind of very extreme stuff to generate magical power, to work with very low frequency entities sometimes and control them. And so it got to be very dark sometimes. I must say here that there were some paths in the Black Tantra, which is called Black Tantra, that were actually a very valid spiritual path, but they were very extreme, like spiritual paths that really take you to the lowest of the low in order to bring you into liberation. to really to cancel all your pride and all your ego through really going dark and low, and it could be a valid path for spiritual evolution, but it is a very risky path. It's not something you recommend to everybody. There are few people today in this era. There are very few people who are suitable for this type of path. This is like the psychology that is suitable for this, but still exist some of these people. If I would find, I don't know, the girl from the movie The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, maybe I would recommend her to go to the Black Tantra sort of path. But otherwise, normal people, it's too extreme, it's too hard, it's too dangerous, it's working with very difficult forces. And I would prefer, every path, every spiritual path usually have a yama and niyama. The restraints, what you shouldn't do. Like, I haven't found any spiritual path on this planet who say it's okay to kill, or it's okay to steal, or something like this. And this is also applied to Tantra. It's actually applied to Tantra even more than to any other practice, because you really, especially if you go to the Buddhist Tantra, you have to understand that it's all empty. There is emptiness. It means everything you do come to you again, sometimes in much more powerful way. So if you really understand how the law of karma works, you don't want to harm anybody. You don't want to damage anybody, because you know that basically you damage yourself. And especially when you work with big energies like the astral, and with all kind of using the sexual energy in a very powerful way, everything you do become really, really powerful sometimes, and you don't want to create negative resonances. You don't want to